Hello and welcome to Survived Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino and my partner in crime, Amanda Brian. Today we are talking about the Big Brother 23 premiere night. We watched it last night and we sat down and thought about it. We were pretty tired last night, so here we are tonight. We're talking about it. What did you think about the premiere itself?
The premiere itself, I liked it. I thought it was one of the better premieres that we've seen in recent years, easily. I think that the great casting has really helped, and that it helped have a good premiere to just having good people to look forward to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, we'll get into it as we go on in the episode. But there's a couple of points I really liked. I really liked how they introduced the house guests. We got some diary rooms, did the comp. It helps you remember them easier because you get four coming in gradually throughout the show instead of all 16, all of them going in the house at one time and everyone's running around and talking to each other, and it's confusing, especially when you're a first time watcher. So I liked it. I thought they did a good job. I thought they paced it good. They got good characters on, and the comp itself was a good comp.
I feel like they learned from their mistakes from last year and they improved on them. The competition, both the competitions itself were way more balanced and not like weighed on one demographic like it was last season. Like the whole 1 foot thing, it's going to be one of the guys. It's not going to be a woman that's going to be able to extend their legs as far as a 6'2" guy.
Right.
It's just not a 5'6" girl is not going to be able to run or stretch her legs as far as a 6'2" guy. That's just a fact.
No. Right.
So this season was more balanced with both the competitions. I do feel like the picking the pairs.
I feel like it's the first. I feel like it's the first episode two, or not episode. I feel like it's one of the very first premieres that we've had where it's even all across the board. We had an even comp, like we have a great even cast, a great even intro. I feel like they've actually listened to the fans this time, and you know what I mean? We've actually listened to the fans this time on exactly what we like and what we want to see, and they're doing it. And now you're getting good feedback. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I believe that this might be the best premiere episode I watched live since I started watching live, and I jumped into 17 at the like 2 weeks in.
Okay.
So I went back and watched them on demand, the episodes I missed, but
right.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, like they weren't bad premieres, but I think this one stands above all of them.
I agree. I completely agree. I completely agree.
I like I said, don't like the picking of the teams. How did you feel about picking of the teams? How do you think that went down?
I liked it. I think that they did it fairly with men and women. And because it is a 50%, cast of minority, it's more evenly distributed without even trying to be. So, they didn't have to be like, okay, you have to pick a black person, you pick a white person, blah, blah. They didn't do that, which I don't think they can do that, but they didn't do that. And it just naturally went that way anyway. But I like the way they did it. I would have preferred a snake draft in this one personally. I mean, instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8, back to the number 5 being the first person, I would have liked to seen a snake drafting would have been more fair that way.
I think they should have did a snake draft, and how for so we're skipping a little bit. We forgot to mention
we're kind of jumping around. It's gonna be watching this live is a little bit different than me and Frank watching it in unison, because when we do other seasons in unison, we go over specific episodes with you guys, so we can follow along with you guys and you guys can follow along with us. With this, it's live, and so we don't really know what's going to happen or what everyone is watching at the same time, so we can be a little bit more free in conversation about an episode because we're not documented episode.
It definitely should have been a snake draft, because it could have been French. It was Frenchie. Was it Whitney?
It was Frenchie, Whitney,
Christian, and Claire. And so it should have went Frenchie picked a female, male, female, male, and then went back female, male, female, male. and then
Male,
came back right
female,
back down.
male. Yeah.
But they bounced around a little bit, which is weird. I do like that you got to get little snippets of people, but like some of the clips were like off balance. I think Tiffany got, oh, I'm a single mom of a teenager, and then like
She should
Alyssa,
not have said that. We'll get to that later, but she should have not have said
and
that.
then Alyssa gets, oh, I'm a fashion designer, I do this, da 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 da, and her little, like, it's just unbalanced of what they said. Of course, Alyssa's gonna get picked, but she's probably gonna get
Right.
picked regardless because of
Her
who picked
age.
her. Yeah, Christian picked
Yeah.
her. Christian's probably gonna pick the pretty female every
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but
I did like though when they were doing that and explaining that they were going over the house guests again. It's just familiarity again with the people that are watching. Okay, this is Tiffany. She's a mom of a teenager. This is Alyssa. She's a fashion designer. It's just like reiterating who these people are, not only to us, but to the house guests. It was a good introduction. They really want you to get to know these characters and these people. And there's probably a reason for it.
yeah. So what's the first comp? So the winners of the first comp, they played in fours like they did last season. Frenchie won the first one. Whitney won the second one. Christian won the third one, and Claire won the fourth one.
Right.
So they picked the teams. It was like a puzzle. So that like I said, that's fair and balanced. Anybody could do a puzzle. Then the second competition for the HOH was like a team competition, because not only did the person become HOH, but your whole team was safe for the whole week.
Right.
So what happened to Christian's team? Like, Christian probably should have been the first HOH.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that they could have thrown it.
I don't know. I'm interested to hear like the diary rooms about it, because was Xavier, Sarah, and Alyssa, right? I believe so. That was Christian's, yes,
Pretty
Christian's
sure.
team. So like, I don't know. Like, it was just like he built the pyramid pretty fast and he ran super fast. So like, all they really had to do was balance it for like 5 seconds, and they couldn't
Dude,
do
you
it.
see how fast Christian was running during
Yeah.
that? He was fucking flying to do that buzzer. Like
Mhm.
I'm like, he was like fume. Like I'm like, they better hope that there's no speed like OTEV. You better hope this dude don't make it to OTEV. He's gonna be outrunning all of you there and back, up and down. Like,
Me personally, after seeing that, if I was the HOH, I would have totally nominated Christian there, or try to backdoor him, get out of the game, because like, he showed out in both the competitions. He should have been the HOH, and because his team let him down, he wasn't. So I don't know. So how do you feel about the teams that we got? So out of the four, we have, for the Jokers, we have Brandon, Frenchie, Azah,
Brandon.
yeah, Frenchie,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Azah,
I was like,
Brittany,
who the hell is that?
and Derek F as the Jokers. For the Aces, we have Whitney, Brent, Derek X, and Hannah. For Team 3 is the Kings, Christian, Alyssa, Xavier, and Sarah. For the Queens, we have Claire, Kylan, Tiffany, and Travis.
I feel like Claire's team and Whitney's team. Is that who I'm thinking of? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure those are the two teams I thought were the best.
See, I think so if the Kings team can stay all intact this week, I think they have the best with the way Christian performed. And I think Xavier threw that competition. So him throwing the competition because he didn't want to be HOH or he didn't want to be a person of power. So if the Kings if the Kings got together, they could definitely be a team to worry about. So but I think the Joker's team is definitely the misfit toys one.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I mean, I love I think they all have great like personalities and everything, but yeah, I think that's probably the weakest tribe. Or tribe. The weakest team. Wow, look at me. Blend worlds over here.
There are one Azah and Sarah flip, from having all the misfit people that I was like almost worried about coming into the season. About I literally said Frenchie, Brittany, Derek F, Sarah, and Tiffany were the people that were I was worried about the first week, depending on who won HOH.
Hmm.
Frenchie winning is a huge boost to all those people that
Oh
I
yeah.
said, because if this Christian won, there's a good chance that Frenchie and Derek F are going up, or Derek F and Brittany, or something like that, or Derek F and Sarah.
Right.
Oh, say Sarah be on his team. Never mind.
I think Tiffany's faring better than I thought that she would. She
Hmm.
seems like she's getting along with everyone just fine.
Yeah. I think this is gonna be a savvy cast. It seems like most of them are at least somewhat fans, so they
Yeah.
will know the game a little bit, and they're not worried about age, race, diversity, sexual orientation. It's
Hmm.
about who you click with and who benefits your game. I think that's going to be highly sought after this season.
Yeah. I think too, if you haven't noticed too, a lot of people are really educated. There's a lot of college graduates. There's a lot of people with really high end jobs that require a lot of education. And I feel like, just having smarter people overall is good, but I'm
Mhm.
glad that they didn't just go for the social media influencers, or, some random, person who's never even seen Big Brother before. It just looks pretty and, has some yoga line. Like, I don't care about those type of people. I love seeing people that are educated, people that are diverse, people that actually have real jobs that we can relate to. Like, that's the kind of casting I want to see. And I feel like they went more back to that this season than they had before. If
Anybody
that
that
makes any sense.
yeah, did anybody
Yeah.
impress you more than you had, like impress you that you had little expectations for?
Hannah.
Hannah.
Hannah did. And her video of her, like, I was graduated at this age, I was top of my class, like da da da, da. And she was so just like straightforward and serious and just took it all, like, you know what I mean? I thought for her age, I thought that was great. Really
Right.
was more impressed by her. Her and probably Sarah Beth too. Because I was thinking she was gonna be more of like a Nicole A type of thing, where she's like, "Oh, look at me, how innocent young I am." But she really didn't have that outtake. She's, for one, she's gay, she's lesbian. She's talked about that. She's open with that. Um, and just like her voice and her personality is charismatic. People, like, she's not the awkward, like, oh, we're gonna have her fit in and be here. I know she was skipped 3 times in the thing,
Yeah.
but I think that once people got to know her a little bit and talk to her a little bit, I think that she's going to be liked a lot more. If that
Yeah.
makes any sense at all.
Yeah, I was impressed with Derek F as well. He had more of a like approachable personality than initially thought. Reading his bio, I was worried that he might be a little confrontational, which he could be still.
Yeah.
But I was worried that he was going to come across that he was that way. If you come
Yeah.
across that way, people aren't going to approach you, and that was my concern with Derek. But like his personality is so outgoing, bubbly, and it just pops off the screen. So I'm sure it pops in person.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So
Absolutely. You want to like him. You want him to be your friend.
yeah, so
Hmm.
he impressed me a little bit more than initially when I thought reading his bio.
Yeah.
So, but
He
yeah,
was a lot. I noticed on draft picks, he was kind of toward the bottom on some draft picks across other, platforms of people who were doing it.
mhm.
Whereas in our draft, he was like a number one pick. He
Yeah,
was he
I did.
was one of the number one picks.
I think
So
Michael
I
picked
think,
him first round, right?
huh?
Michael picked him first round, I
Yeah,
believe.
Michael picked him first round. And I
Mhm.
think that Michael could see how charismatic he was, and how likable he is.
I really liked Xavier, what he did. Coming into the house saying that he's a bartender who does some modeling. That's totally believable
It is.
because
Mhm.
he is a good looking guy. And you'd be like, oh, I totally see that. Oh, you're a bartender. That's why you have good people skills. I get that. Not a big
Right.
deal. And that way it takes away from maybe it'll disarm him because he's a athletic guy, played
And he's only
college ball.
27.
Yeah, he played college ball, which I don't think we were I was aware of that before
I
going
didn't
into
know
this
that
episode.
either.
So if he came in with a strategy of lying about his profession, which is a good idea. No one wants to be swayed by a lawyer. So if he says that I'm a bartender, um, which lawyers have to have some kind of people skills because you're working with somebody
Right.
and communicating with somebody. So he can say I'm a bartender, and like it's believable. Like, oh, you're a good looking guy. Big Brother loves models.
Do you think that he'll eventually tell someone that he's a lawyer, or you think he'll keep it a
No,
secret for a while?
I don't think he'll tell anybody until he's out of the game.
Did Derek keep his profession as a cop a secret for a long time? I can't
Yes,
remember.
they
Okay,
told
I thought
he
so.
didn't say nothing until after the votes was already cast.
Mm-hmm.
He said it after the votes were cast and they were doing like the little reunion while
That's
the
right.
votes were already voted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he knows, he's watched the seasons. He's a fan, so he knows what he's doing.
It's definitely something about him. I mean, because like Tony's a cop, Sarah's a cop, Derek's a cop. Something about cops playing these games. They're good at being able to tell people lie and
Mhm.
stuff. You know, it's almost like an advantage. Come here, Luna.
Yeah, so
You
I'm
can't
very
podcast
excited.
you.
I'm very excited about this cast. Season started out very well. I do feel like the comp took a little bit longer sometimes because a lot of people did throw it. Like Azah for sure 100% had no interest in winning that comp.
Derek F threw it.
Yeah.
You see Derek F? He totally threw it.
Derek Xavier threw it.
Mhm.
Like there's a handful of people you
They
knew
did not
through
want to
that
be first
shit.
HOH.
Yeah, they
Not
had no
happening.
interest in it at all.
Mhm.
So because it wasn't in the HOH, it was just like they didn't have all the information.
So
So
Frenchie ultimately wins HOH.
mhm.
And how do you feel about Frenchie being HOH?
I think it was I think it was good for somebody offbeat to win it for they like I said, the people that I mentioned, like the 5 people I felt like could be easy boots first round, they needed a Frenchie to win.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Sarah, Frenchie, Tiffany, Derek F, Brittany, all these people that were a little different.
Mm-hmm.
If a Christian won, he would have for sure put up 2 of those 5 probably.
Yeah.
It would have been easy for him to say, "Oh, I just don't connect with you, Tiffany, because you're a mom of a teenager. I'm almost a teenager myself."
Yeah.
All right, did anybody disappoint you so far that you've seen?
I would probably say, hmm, I would probably say Brittany a little bit. I think she came in just a little bit too hot and heavy. I mean, I don't know if you noticed or not, but like during when Julie was like explaining the competitions and stuff, like explaining what she wanted people to do, Brittany had literally a comment to say almost every single time Julie stopped talking. So I think that Brittany's eating up this TV thing and that she's on camera. I don't think she's acting like herself. And I think that's going to hurt her and it's going to make people annoyed by her. I just have
Uh,
that feeling. I don't know how you feel about Brittany, but
see, okay. I feel like she's only gonna rub certain people the wrong way. As long as they stay out of power, she'll be all right for a while. Like I
yeah.
think she'll rub maybe a Brent the wrong way. Christian,
I can see her making the girls annoyed with her too, though.
I can see her get Alyssa getting annoyed with her.
Yeah.
Alyssa for sure.
Whitney.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna vibe somehow. So,
Mhm.
but like Alyssa for sure, I can see getting annoyed with Tiff or Brittany. I don't know if Tiffany and her would necessarily click. I just see like they're totally different kind of
Right.
personalities.
Right.
So I think it just depends. I think half the house, like there's gonna be a certain a faction in the house who's not gonna be with it, but I think she'll be all right for the most part
Right.
because it's not gonna be. I feel like I said, I think this cast is gonna be more of a strategic thinking cast, and that not let's just get out somebody because I don't like them.
Good. That's what it needs to be.
Hmm.
That's what it
Or
needs to
get rid of.
be. And I think that by it being more diverse, I mean, I know I keep saying this, but I really do think that it being more diverse helps that. It
Mhm.
makes people, it makes people see people for people and not, oh, there's only 1 or 2 Black people in the
It,
house.
and it's not just diverse by race; it's diverse by people. Like we have a
Yeah.
Frenchie, we have a Brittany who is totally different. She's not some supermodel.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have diversity and the personalities we're getting, and that's what
Even the
I
men, you have someone
yeah.
like Xavier who's very, professional and, educated and all this, has a great job, probably makes pretty good money,
Hmm.
versus somebody, or even, hey, like even say Derek F. Like
Hmm.
he is Joe Frazier's son. Like I can't even imagine how much money that kid's got. He
Right.
don't need to be there winning all this money. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like someone like him or Xavier have really, really good jobs or come from money is going to be different from somebody that hasn't. I don't know anyone in this cast for sure that like hasn't came from money or is a little bit more not as well off. Um, we could say Tiffany because she's a single mom of a teenager. You know
Right.
what I mean? We'll just use
And
that for
when
an example.
Whitney is a
Oh,
very pretty
Whitney, there we
girl.
go. Yeah.
She's a
So
single mom too.
yep. And I heard stories about Whitney, like, being homeless at some point in time, things like that. So
Yeah.
her background is going to be completely different than Derek F's background. So maybe
Hmm.
they're not going to relate as easily because they have different upbringings. And like you said, like we like that. That's what makes the game more dynamic. It makes people work with people they wouldn't normally work with in real life or talk to in real life or even have a relationship with in real life or meet in real life even.
Yeah. It got
So
to the point.
that's the beauty about these kind of social concept games is because it's you put all different types of humans together and see how they interact with each other. And then you throw money in there and they really see how they interact with each other.
It got to the point where they were casting the supermodel boring people, where whoever had the most Instagram followers, that's who they cast.
Yeah.
Like that's why we got something. It wasn't just the fact that we were not getting diverse in race. It was really not getting diverse in people in general.
Yeah.
We were getting the same archetype with
Type of
one or two
people.
people that were different, and they always got targeted first.
Yes. I
So
agree.
that's why I really like this cast, that they didn't just cast because
Instagram people.
yeah, because you're pretty. Like, don't get me wrong, they're always gonna cast good looking people
And
because
don't
it's
get
Big
us wrong,
Brother.
because we know there's a lot of TikTokers on here too. There's a lot of
Yeah.
TikTok people on here, like Brittany is a big TikToker. Somebody else on there is a big TikToker. So like we know there's these people on there, but it does feel different.
So somebody I was really impressed with was another one of my draft picks. I know, I'm not just hyping on my draft pick, but Claire was really impressive to me with her video package, saying that she doesn't mind being in a showmance to use it to benefit her game because
And she's bisexual.
and
So
she's
she can
bisexual.
get
She
with a
said,
girl or yep.
"Man, woman, if it's gonna benefit me, I'm willing to use it."
Yeah.
So that's something I don't think I've heard coming into it. Like I've heard people say, "I want to get in a showmance," but she made it a point to point out that she wants to be in a showmance to benefit her game.
Exactly. Yep. Because she knows, because she's, for those you don't know, like Claire is a super fan. Like not only is she a super fan of Big Brother, but she's a super fan of Survivor too. So she knows what the benefits can be of being in a, if not, and I said this last time, if not a showmance, at least a strong duo. Because we've seen showmances make it to the end. So we've seen, Rob and Amber make it to the end. We've seen Dick and Danielle make it to the end. They're not a couple, but they were a strong duo.
Mickey and Holly, who just did it
Yep,
two
Mickey
seasons
and
ago.
Holly, who just did it 2 seasons ago.
In season
And
18,
then
Corey and Nicole made it to final four
yeah,
together.
yep.
So
And
like
then Shane and
Danielle made it to final
Danielle
four.
made it to final four. And then Derek and Cody were a strong duo.
Yeah.
So it is beneficial. Like even the brigade, Hayden and Lane, they were part of, the two of the four.
I mean, Big Brother 7, he had two showmances at the end. So
it is beneficial. It has proved itself time and time again. The problem is they don't always win. That's the problem. You gotta make it to the, if you want to run your showmance and make it to the end, that's great, but you have to have a game to back it up to it. And I'm glad that you said, Claire says, only if it benefits my game, because then she knows that. Yes, it can work, but she's got to have the game to back it up.
Right, exactly. So that was something that I really like to hear. That she was thinking of strategy. Like she clearly, like, you heard people say, "Oh, this is my strategy, make friends with everybody." Like that's something like that doesn't been said a lot. Like
Yeah.
yes, show matches help you out, but most people who say they want to be in a show match is because, oh, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. That's not
Right.
what she's here to do. She's here to win. So we'll see. I think
Mhm.
what'd you think of the temptation or the deal Julie offered Frenchie where
I thought it was funny how Frenchie was turning it down before she even got the words out of her mouth. He was like, I don't even trust Julie. He didn't want any part of that. And I liked that. I didn't like how he didn't want any part of that.
if I was him, I
Um,
would have picked the dice up and just chucked it. And like,
I
I'm not doing
know.
it.
I was kind of almost wondering if they were telling him in his mic mouth too,
Yeah, I'm gonna
or
just like
something. I mean, I don't know if he
I
can
think
keep
he was
it
trying to
here,
throw
but
it. I think he was trying to throw it, but he couldn't throw it. He tried to throw
yeah,
it. Like he
because
clearly
he won it, right?
yeah, he did it. And like
Yeah.
2 seconds left. They're like, oh, and then Julie's like, you've already won 2 competitions tonight. Can you do it? Like she did it like 5 times. If I was French, you're like, bitch, shut up.
Shut
Like,
up.
shut up.
Yes. Hosts be doing that to me in org sometimes. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Amanda, you've only been to one tribal out of 2 or out of 10. And I'm like, shut up. Don't say anything. Amanda, you're the only returning player. Shut up. Don't say that.
Oh,
I know
I
you
know
got
that
that.
whole pain in broski. So oh, that was a
Frank,
whole
Frank, winner.
yeah. Literally I played at org where I was an all-star org and it was on Discord and I was the only returning winner to come back and play. And every time I talked in like the tribe chat, said season 13 winner. And like every time, so like anytime I want to talk to people, it constantly reminded them that I won my previous season. So yeah, I was like one
How
of
far
those
did you make it in that org?
I think 9 out of 26.
Nice.
And the only reason why I got out at 9 because I just didn't want to get out at 5 and I tried to make a move.
Oh my God. I
So
told him to calm down. You need to calm
I got
down.
antsy, man. Got antsy. I blindsided
Yeah.
somebody who considered me the number one.
You
Oh,
should
good
hear
times.
you should hear my brain when he tells me these things. And I'm just like, you're gonna do what? Why? You're bored. Oh my God, what?
I see. I feel like like I don't know why, but I feel like I play for like these people who are watching me, and it's like 20 people, if that. So I just sometimes I get a lot of people like if people are like watching me, they'll send me messages. It just like gets me like, okay, I gotta do something impressive.
There's only been a few orgs that I've like die hard watched, like from like every tribal and every move, every go.
Yeah, but get back to task and hand.
Yeah,
But
sorry, we get
yeah,
distracted.
Frenchie did end up competing in the competition. Would you have done it, or would you said no?
Oh, I
Because
said
if he
no.
got it, he got him and his team got 2 weeks of safety. If he lost, it went to Claire for coming in second.
I would have kept it. I would have just kept HOH.
I think I would have kept it too. I would have went for it because like Julie constantly reminded everybody, you just won 2 competitions. So you don't want to win a third. And
Right.
if he loses that competition and he gets out in the chance to go to the pool, there's a decent chance he goes on the block.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
if Claire is looking at it strategically, why wouldn't you put up Frenchie and Christian?
Right.
You know, if you're Frenchie, what would you do going into this HOH? How would you play it?
Well, we don't really know the house guest super well yet. And without mentioning live feeds, um, as Frenchie going in, and the only thing that he has going based off of, is introductions, comp performance, and just overall likability. So from what we have met from the house guests, I would say that people like, Xavier is safe, Highland is safe, Derek F is safe because they're charismatic and likable people. For the women, I would say probably Claire is safe. I don't think he put up Claire because she almost won alongside him. He's not going to disrespect her, that type of thing. I don't see him putting Claire up. I think he's going to stick with the weaker of the social. So people that don't maybe not can't relate as well or don't seem to be as involved, maybe like Christian or Sarah Beth or just someone like that. It all depends on introductions and how those first couple of days go. Those
So
first 5 days of Big Brother pretty much set the path. I mean, it starts your butterfly effect for the rest of the game.
yeah. So if I was him, I would go after one team, and this is what I'd do. I'd go to the other. I'd decide which team would be the best bet to go after, and I'd go after the other two team captains and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna target this team. Can you give me safety next week, the next couple weeks? And I won't target you guys' team. That way, you guys have more opportunities to save yourself. Because if you have more team members, you have a better chance to stay safe because
Right.
you have a better chance to win HOH. So
Do you think when they do veto, they're just going to do random six? So they're going to do it somehow in teams,
I think they're gonna do random six.
or maybe like one team participates and the other three don't, and then they get to pick two or something like that. Or
Every other team season has just been regular veto.
okay,
So we do know there's a special comp. I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna work just
yeah,
yet.
the casino comp or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
so
not
we don't
sure
know
what
how that's
that's
gonna
about
come into
yet.
play either. But me personally, if I was Frenchie, I would sit down with my team and be like, "Hey guys, what which team do you find the most threatening?" And then I'd go after that team. And then I go to the other two teams and be like, "Hey, I'll spare your." I go to the other two team captains and be like, "Hey, captains, let's look after each other, and I won't go after you guys' team."
Right.
And
That's probably the best way to go,
yeah,
honestly.
and then just go after one team, and then guess what? If they win the veto, one goes up, one of the other team members go up.
Yeah.
That's the safest way to play it. Then you have was it 11 people playing in the HOH next week that promised you safety? That's a lot of people to keep yourself
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
So
I
I like
think
those
I think
odds.
the teams aspect of it, of the alliances being broken up in that way, is a good go. But if the alliances aren't broken up in that way, because you're going to have people making relationships with other people
Hmm.
across those team lines. So if someone on your team gets close with someone on another team and you're wanting to target them, that could break your team apart too. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. So
It's a sticky situation. Do you
well,
like? I have an overall general, just Big Brother question for you. Do you like 16 house guests, or do you wish there were more or less?
um, I don't mind 16. Just add more doubles. I feel like the problem isn't how many house guests there is. The problem is the length.
The schedule,
And I feel like if they cut it down to 70 days instead of 90 to 100 days, it'd be a lot more better for your fan base and the people inside
yeah,
because they're still going to be constantly moving. And you know what? They'll win even four double evictions if you
right.
want and spring it on them. Spring them on it at like final six, something crazy like that. And all of a sudden you're at
Right.
final four. You're like, holy shit, what just happened?
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what happened. Like, something like that where like you can just keep it moving. So
Yeah.
I don't think that the number of house guests is the problem. I feel like the length and the schedule is the problem.
The problem. Fair enough.
If they fix the schedule and the length and things like that, we don't need a battle back. Don't bring anybody back.
No, I don't want to bring anyone back.
I think there's only been like one good time where we got one person back, and that was it. Other than that, it's literally just a copy and repeat of the last week most of
Yeah,
the
they
time.
just get voted out right again.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
like
Pete Patty.
yeah, so like I think you haven't seen 3, but Amy comes back and she lasts a while. Victor comes back in 18, which you haven't seen, and he comes back. I won't even say anything, but yeah, he comes back. He lasts a while in that season.
Isn't his like coming back with that like fuckery? There's a lot of fuckery around it.
Yeah, it's crazy. When you get there and watch it, you'll understand. But
Okay.
yeah,
Do you like that Danielle and Victor together?
you mean Nicole and Victor?
Oh yes, I'm sorry, Nicole and Victor.
It's definitely interesting.
Danielle's with Dominic.
Yeah. So yeah, it's something that weird. Like they don't interact that much, and like she's kind of like hooking up with another dude in the house while he's in the house. So
She was hooking up with another dude in season 16
18,
too, or
yeah,
8, no,
16 and
16.
18.
Yeah,
She dated the guy for 16 for like a year or two, maybe a year or so.
yeah,
So like she actually dated him. I don't think she actually dated Corey from 18.
no.
So like I said, I don't think do you have a problem with the 16 house guests?
Um, Sometimes I wish there was 18, just 2 more. I would like just 2 more. I think 20 is too many. I don't want to like a full Survivor cast, but I wouldn't mind maybe 18 house guests. Um, just so I wouldn't mind 18 house guests and more doubles, like you said. Maybe more doubles, throw 1 triple in there. So there should be maybe like 2 or 3 doubles and then 1 triple. And I think that would be good.
Yeah.
I think that I don't mind the length of Big Brother because it's kind of easy and it is like it's like going to summer camp. So like it's like you know what I mean? It's like the perfect amount of time of the summer is the game, and I do like that, but it is mentally exhausting for the people. It's mentally exhausting for the people being away at summer camp and not having any interaction with other people or television or being able to read books or write down anything. Like that's what would bother me is just sheer boredom of it.
100 days to me is just too long. That's the way I feel about it. Because especially that you got quarantine now for 2 weeks, and then like so like.
Did you see that the girl who got it was a false positive?
Oh, I did not see that.
A false positive. She got home and had another test done, and it came back negative.
Damn. Well, maybe it's
Ain't that some shit, bro?
Maybe it was production rigging, and they realized they casted the wrong person.
Could be. Fucking could be. That's a conspiracy theory.
Oh, we forgot to say that they're having the biggest prize in Big Brother history.
Oh yeah, $750,000. So they're really just getting $500K after taxes. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I get so frustrated with them because it's like, why not just fucking make it $1 million?
Just make it $1 million.
On 3 nights a week. It's been a CBS staple for 23 years. Just make it $1 million.
Right.
The challenge has how much is the challenge?
$1 million. The only show that's not $1 million is like Big Brother US.
Yeah.
Now Survivor does it. The challenge does it, and MTV is cheap. So
I just make it $1 million. Just make it $1 million. You know, you're pulling these, like, I know they're on like summer vacation for 100 days, but you're still pulling them for 100 days. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But they, to be fair, they do get paid during as well. Yeah. They get paid weekly during. So what? You guys don't know these things. Like casual fans who don't know these things, they get paid weekly. So
Survivor gets paid by the placement. So don't tell me Big Brother they're paying like $2,000 a week or something like that.
Yeah.
So Survivor literally is a quarter of the time of Big Brother, especially with 29 days. That's a quarter of the time. If they stay with 29 days, it's literally 1/4 of the time of Big Brother.
They better not stay with 29 days.
So like,
that's okay. Wait, that's a whole different conversation. Yeah. We need to dial it back.
Just the sheer length of Big Brother. Like you add the 2 weeks, you're pushing like 120 days. That's too much. That's a long time. So that's 4 months. God. You're giving out 4 months, maybe even a little less or a little more of your life to play this game, and no matter how
a quarter million less than a normal game show.
Yeah, and there's 80% chance to 90% chance you never get to play it again. It's a one and done with Big Brother most of the time. Very rarely there's a handful of people who come back. So yeah, I don't know. I was like, come on, CBS, you're being fucking cheap. But that's all I have to say about the premiere. I think there's a few people who stood out, and we got to know some people.
Oh, do you like the balcony?
Of them watching over
backyard balcony?
Yeah, I wonder if that's the one where Oh, I guess you didn't see that part where Dr. Will was in last season. So he came out and he was like on the Big Brother balcony talking to the house guests.
Well, that's cool.
So I wonder if that's the same balcony.
Yeah, I bet he looks so different.
Oh yeah, he looks.
Oh yeah, it's got a lot of Botox. Got
Well,
a
all
lot
right.
of Botox with some gray going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's all I got for the premiere. I think it was a
Yeah,
fun
we
one.
we loved it. I loved it. I thought it was a great premiere. I think the cast is great. I have a lot of high hopes for this season, and I hope it doesn't let me down. But so
Yeah, me
far, it
too.
hasn't.
Yeah,
So I think
I
it's going to be
really
a good
hope it doesn't let me
season.
down. It's been since Big Brother well, 20 to me, half the season was good. The last
Yeah,
like
it
really
really
good
dragged at like final six.
yeah, 7 like when Scotty came back
Yeah,
and immediately got eliminated,
it was
it
a
was
drag.
just like it was just like watching paint dry. And then you got to see Brett's double eviction, but that was it.
I like
So
Brett.
yeah, Brett was fun. I'm surprised he hasn't done the challenge or come back on Big Brother.
Same.
Uh, that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a nice night. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.